Hey guys, it's Jacqueline, and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. Today's video is a jungle retreat kind of home. Specifically, I was imagining this is kind of like a honeymoon destination, which I don't really know if that's a thing in real life. I think it is, right? Like people, or like places cater to the niche of having people come there on their honeymoons or like for romantic getaways and stuff. When I think of that, I think of cruises. This is definitely not a cruise, although, ooh, a cruise ship. There's a build idea. That'll probably happen at some point. But anyways, so like I was saying, I think this would be like a good spot for Sims on a honeymoon, although it's not particularly romantic or anything like that. That's just kind of what I was imagining for people coming here. And it is, now that I think about it, pretty cluttered considering that it's a rental home since Selvadorada, if you don't know, this is the world that came with Jungle Adventure, and it is like technically a rental world, so you can only have your Sims come and like rent to pay to stay in these houses for a little while, so they can't live there, unfortunately, which I always think is really sad because I think Selvadorada is a really pretty world, and obviously like in real life a lot of people live in places like this, so it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it makes sense to me why they would make it a vacation world, although I've always wished that we could just like be able to set rental houses as a thing in any world and have like resorts and all that stuff. It would be great. I'm just saying, if we get a winter resort pack, by the way, if we get a winter resort pack and they don't make the resorts something that you can use in every world like hotels, if they don't do that, I'm gonna cry. I'll be mad, I really will. But they probably will do that, to be honest. Like, they probably won't make it so that you can have hotels everywhere, because that's just how The Sims rolls, but it's fine. I'm not bitter or anything. Just a little bit maybe, but don't tell anybody. Anyways, so this is, like I said, in Selvadorada, and I think this world is like inspired by probably like Latin America, kind of Central America as well. I don't know. I think specifically of like Rio de Janeiro, which is obviously Brazil, and then also Costa Rica comes to mind for whatever reason. I don't actually know that much about like geography and the types of like landscapes that you'd see in different places, but I know a limited amount about like South America because we had to learn all of the Spanish-speaking countries, and so it's basically just that in Brazil and a few like French-speaking countries on the little eastern coast of it, so I know most of South America's geography, so yeah, that is what I think of mainly when I think of this world, and obviously also the name Selvadorada is probably inspired by El Salvador. I'm not really sure though. So that's like kind of the world that we're building in right now. I think it's very like jungly, obviously, hence the name, and just kind of like rainforesty, I think, as well. So I think it's really nice. It's a really pretty place, in my opinion, like to go on vacation, I guess, to live. Like I said, I really wish this was a residential world because I think that would be nice. And Granite Falls would be such a nice residential world too. Like, although, I don't know, I kind of, when I think Granite Falls, I think of Tahoe, and there's a lot of people that rent houses in Tahoe. I know a lot of them because they go to my school and like, other places. I don't know, that's just all of California. Like, literally anywhere in California, you're like, oh, you have a rental house? And it's Tahoe. It's always Tahoe. Or I know some people that have a rental house in North Carolina, which is like such an outlier, but it's fine. It adds interest to conversations and stuff. So anyways, the point is that I really wish this was a residential world, but unfortunately it is not. Sad day for us, but it's fine. Everything's okay, I guess. So anyways, I think that this world is really nice though, like I said, and I had a lot of fun building here, although I did have a very hard time with the landscaping, which you may see in a second, although I cut it out. So the second time around with landscaping, so basically what happened is I did the exterior of this house, then the exterior was like looking like how it is right now, and I did the interior, and I was like, the interior, it does not match the exterior. Like, they're not cohesive at all. And so what I decided to do, instead of like leaving them like that, because it wasn't like terrible or anything, it's just that the landscaping and stuff had a lot of like bright reds and all of that kind of stuff, which just really did not fit with the interior because I was doing like more sort of pastel-y colors and stuff. And I know I'm failing the jungle theme right now because the jungle is sort of like featuring all of those super bright colors and like, I don't know, kind of, like the clay tiles and the bright reds and stuff, which usually it's a color scheme that I like. I don't know how comfortable I am with it necessarily, but like I like doing Mediterranean homes and stuff, and in those houses you obviously need to use like lots of bright colors. Well, sometimes I do really muted, but anyways, that's kind of irrelevant to this house. The point is that, I don't know, I just wasn't really like feeling it today to do that sort of super bright color scheme, so that is not what I did. Instead I did, well, you'll see what I did. So the point is that I didn't think that the landscaping really matched it. So the second time around, landscaping is what I left in the video, and I just like went through and deleted everything I did the first time except for like these trees and stuff that I'm placing around now. So you guys will see that. I believe I edited it, so the landscaping should be coming up pretty soon, but I just had a really hard time. I don't know, like, I wanted it to be overgrown, but I didn't want it to be that overgrown, if that makes sense. Like, that's a weird thing to say, isn't it? But, oh, sorry if the video just got really choppy for a second. I don't know if that will happen for you guys. It just happened for me on my editor right now, but the editor is kind of glitchy, so I don't know if that's like a thing that you guys just saw. But yeah, basically I just tried to fill it in with a lot of the plants that we got with the pack. I didn't really use any live edit object plants because it was getting too complicated for me. It was too much for me, so I decided to stick with the ones that I am using right now that came with the pack and are just like in the regular old menu. But I did use some live edit objects in this build. Anyways, so I was trying to think of things I could say to fill this voiceover because there's not really much to say about the build. Like, it's very average and boring, and so I was like, let's think. Any stories I can tell in relation to, like, Latin American Spanish-speaking countries? Because, I don't know, like, I just need something to, like, tie to the build, so I can tell a story connected to the build. And then I was like, I do not have any stories, but I do have a funny story that happened in my Spanish class. It's kind of related to the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic isn't really related to this build at all, but I'm trying here. Can you tell how hard I'm trying? So, basically, we're just going to tell a story today for some duration of the build, because I really have no idea what to say in this voiceover. So, basically, I'll set the scene for you. And by the way, I've told this story in a build before, but that build has, like, 30 views, so I think it's fine. I don't think anybody really watched that video, so it's probably okay to tell it again. So, basically what happened is, in my Spanish class, so this was Spanish 3, because it was last year, in my Spanish class, we had to do these presentations, and they were, like, really easy presentations. Basically, you just, like, pick a country, Spanish-speaking country, and you choose, like, a certain aspect of it to advertise, and, like, make it seem like a really good, like, destination kind of thing, like a good place to go on vacation or to visit or explore or whatever, right? And so I chose the Dominican Republic with my friend. I don't know why. I think it's because there's a musical that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote called In the Heights, and the main character in it, his name is Usnavi, and he comes from the Dominican Republic, and so I was like, let's do it, you know? And also, it's kind of like a vacation world, so I was like, you know, it's kind of a cop-out. It's an easy grade to get if you're trying to make that seem like a good place to visit, you know? So that's what I did. And I chose this world, right? And so the presentation was pretty easy, like, it was fine, whatever. But the main issue with this is that basically we had to, like, prepare these foods, right? And so you have to bring a food that's related to your country that you chose. And so my friend and I were deliberating on what food we should bring, and we decided to bring a drink, okay? So we brought this milkshake from the not from the Dominican Republic, but, like, according to an article I read, it was, like, a home recipe from there, you know? Like, it was a cultural food of that place. And so we were like, yeah, let's do it. And it was this, like, papaya milkshake kind of thing, right? And so we made it, and we, like, did a test run and everything. We were prepared, okay? Like, we did a test run of this papaya milkshake thing. Like, we tried it out. We, like, made sure it wasn't horrible so we wouldn't be feeding our classmates with something disgusting and all that stuff. And it was going great. Everything was fine. And then, so the day of the presentation rolls around, right? And the actual presentation was, like, kind of fine, you know? Like, I get very nervous during presentations, but I feel like that's anybody, you know? Like, most people don't really like talking in front of classes. Well, some people do. I know some people that are so weird. Like, I mean, like, weird in a good way. Like, they genuinely enjoy, like, presenting and being in front of people and, like, talking like I know something that I don't really know. Like, weirdos, complete freaks. I'm sorry, I'm kidding, obviously, I admire you. But the point is that I was just, like, you know, average amount of nervous and stuff, and the presentation went fine. So we were just, like, presenting about our country and la-di-da, and we were like, yeah, Dominican Republic, blah blah blah, really nice vacation spots, Zona Colonial, and that is all I have to say. And then it comes around to the time where we're supposed to, like, bring out our food and stuff, right, to give to our classmates, okay? And so it was, like I said, this milkshake, right? And we had it in, like, you know, Starbucks cups, like the really tall kind of, like, metal container ones. So we had it in a bunch of those, like a bunch of, like, Starbucks drinks cups, but, like, the non-disposable ones, the reusable ones. Sorry, I don't know why I said non-disposable. That was a weird way to say that. But so they were the reusable Starbucks drink cups, right? And we had it in those. And so everything is going fine, right? My friend who I was presenting with is on the other side of the classroom. I think she was like turning in our transcript to the teacher or something like that. And I was starting to pour these milkshakes, okay? And it was smooth sailing. And then suddenly it was not smooth sailing because I don't know why. I was really shaky. I mean, I was always shaky, like, because I was presenting and stuff. But sorry, by the way, if my audio just paused. I don't know why the screen just went blank. So anyways, I was like shaky because I was presenting and stuff, right? So I was done presenting and everything was fine. And I was like decompressing, calming down. And I was like, the worst of it is over. I just need to pour these milkshakes and pass them out to the class, right? And then my hand slips, drink spills, boom, drink huge Starbucks cup of papaya milkshake, like bright pink drink all over everything, and it was all over my hand, and it was like chunky. It wasn't like the one we originally made either, which was sad because the one we originally made was really good, but I don't know what happened with the other one because my friend made it actually and not me, so I sound like I'm blaming my friend now. I don't blame her for the drink being weird because that's irrelevant to the spilling or anything, but I'm just saying it was like chunky and disgusting. And then so this drink was all over my hand, right? And then I'm like, oh god, it's on my hand, but it's fine. And I look down, and it's all over the floor, all over the desk next to me, all over this poor kid's backpack. And I was like, what have I done? What did you do? So that was awful. And then I expected everyone to like be really mean about it. Luckily, nobody was that mean. People laughed and stuff, obviously, because that's high school. But nobody was like exceptionally mean about it, which is like, thank God. I don't know, that's just kind of how it goes with high school. Like, you're either gonna find really mean people or like be in a situation where you like just happen to be around people, and it's always a group mentality. So like if one person laughs, everybody will laugh, or if nobody laughs, nobody else will laugh, that kind of thing. So it was fine in that regard because nobody was really like particularly mean about it or anything, or like it's not like I went down in history as like papaya milkshake girl, Oh god, that would be awful. Can you imagine? But yeah, it was really embarrassing. And then I had to clean up. Okay, I spent so long trying to clean up this poor kid's backpack. I felt so bad. I was like, oh my god, I got milkshake all over your backpack. I mean, wouldn't you feel bad? Wouldn't you be mad at me? I would be so mad at me if I was that kid. Because like, you're just sitting there probably not even paying attention to presentations and just like chilling and waiting for the class to be over, and then suddenly boom, pink drink on your bag. I would be mad. So anyways, that was a fun development in that whole situation as well. And then yeah, this one girl gave me napkins, by the way, which I was surprised about because we kind of had a history. She was like, in the past, she didn't really like me because I was kind of like I was not the greatest person. Well, I was a nice person. I've just always been really awkward, and that always leads to like bad encounters, where I like, it's weird. I don't know. I'm just not a fun person to socialize with, I think. So anyways, she was really nice to me. She didn't like laugh at me or anything. She gave me a napkin, and I was like, oh, thank God. So that was, overall, 10 out of 10 experience. Would recommend to spill milkshake all over your Spanish class. And then, of course, the teacher was a whole situation because, well, my teacher, she's really nice. I don't know, most of the kids in my class didn't like her for some reason. I never understood it because she was always really nice. Like, she was never mean to anybody. She always helped people if they needed help, and like the entire class was really easy. Like, it's not like she was a hard class or anything, so I didn't really understand why people didn't really like her that much. But anyway, she was like pretty annoyed with me about it, which is like understandable, but I cleaned the whole thing up. Everything was fine, mostly fine. I don't know, luckily we were the last presentation of the day, so I just got to do it during like our brunch, and I think it was technically lunch. Yeah, it was like our lunch period that I got to clean it up during, so that was good, because if I had to clean it up during like the time where everybody else was there and people were still presenting, that would have been humiliating. So phew, am I right? But the aftermath of that situation was pretty minimal, luckily, because like oh god, if I don't know, like if I got a really bad grade on that project or something because I spilled milkshake, that would have been sad, but I don't think I got that bad of a grade. I think it was just like an A- or something. I mean, the A- could have just been because it was a bad project, but I think we did pretty well, actually. Like, I mean, my like slide making skills were really in full force during that project. Is that just a me thing? I get so excited making like slideshows and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, look at my presentation, so fancy, woohoo. I don't know, maybe I should be a graphic designer. Sorry, I feel like my mom right now. That's every time I like mention something I'm interested in. I mean, it's very sweet. It's an enduring quality my mom has, where she's like, oh, so have you considered a career in that field? Like, I could be like, oh, I had a really fun time making this thumbnail today, and she's like, you're gonna be a graphic designer, woohoo. Or I'm like, oh, I love true crime, and she's like, so how about detective for you, huh? I mean, it's really nice of her. Like, it's cute, but also I hate thinking about like the future too much. So it's a little stressful sometimes. But anyways, I guess that's my entire story there. I don't know. Luckily, like, my teacher didn't end up hating me or anything, and my friend might have resented me for a while, though, because I think it was probably my fault that we got an A- instead of an A, because my teacher was probably like, ooh, A project, but that presentation, though, not great. So, pro tip, life tip, don't spill milkshake, you know? It's just a bad thing. And that is really all I have to say about the story. So sorry I resorted to telling a past story, by the way, because I don't know. I feel like it's kind of shoddy workmanship to do like a past story instead of a present story. And also I've already told this story, but like I said, nobody watched that video, so I think it's all good. And I don't know. I really don't know what else to say because I'm kind of like, nothing else is going on in my life. That's why I had to tell a past story, or a story from the past, you know? And was that boring too? I don't usually like straight up tell stories, like I just kind of ramble about my life for a while, but hopefully that wasn't too boring for you, because I feel like I have nothing else to talk about, and I might have to tell more stories soon, because I don't have that much interesting stuff that's like happened to me in my life. Like, it's a very, very boring life, truly. So yeah, I don't know. I can make stuff up. I can make up really interesting stories and pretend I'm an interesting person, and then you guys will be like, wow, these voiceovers, so entertaining, but I won't do that. And yeah, that's really, like, there's nothing going on in my life at the moment. Like, it's literally just wake up, Sims, SAT prep, read, watch TV or YouTube or whatever, and study, and then, like, read more, and then sleep. That's it. So, I got a really interesting life going on here, don't I? But, oh, speaking of SAT prep, by the way, should I do this? I don't know. I'm considering bragging, and I'm considering not bragging. It's not really a brag, it's just more of a, like, appreciation for my improvement, because I improved my SAT or practice SAT score, but it's like, apparently the practice tests I'm taking are like the same difficulty as the SAT. I improved it by like 100 points since my last one, so I'm like happy with myself because now I almost have a perfect score on it, and if I have a perfect score on it, or like almost a perfect score, then I can probably estimate that I'll get like 100 points lower on the actual thing, because I just never perform as well on like actual executions of things than I do on like the practice version of it. Like, I'll be studying for a math test or something, and it's fine, I'm doing well or whatever, but then I like take the actual test and just, everything falls apart. It's all really bad. So, I don't know, I kind of expect that I'll get like a lot lower on the actual thing than I do on the practice ones, but I just, I figure I can do as much practice as I want, and then hopefully that'll like overall improve the score, right? But that's good, right? 100 improvement points. Not improvement points, that's a bad word to use, just like points in general. So I won't say my exact score because, like, is that more braggy? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, like I said, SAT prep, pretty much my life right now, and yeah, I don't know, I should probably get out of the house more. I should just go on more, like, walks and stuff, right? But I don't know, I don't have any interest in leaving my house right now. It sounds so weird, but, like, they confirmed that my school is going to be remote learning for next year, which also I'm kind of freaking out about because I have to do a committee next year, which I did one this year, but I was, like, co-chair with somebody else, so it wasn't really, like, entirely my responsibility. But this one, if it's lagging again, I'm sorry about that. It just happened for me, but I don't know if it's happening for you, the video, I mean. But anyways, the point is that this year I was like a co-chair with somebody else, and this year I'm going to be like all by myself on a committee, and we have to do a bunch of fundraising and stuff, which is like great. And I had plans, I had like whole plans, and I had like forms already created and spreadsheets, and it was going to be great. And then all of the plans, because of the virus, really just said like, yeah, not going to happen. So I have to figure out new fundraisers now that will work remotely, which I don't even know. What is that even gonna be? Like, I don't know. I'll figure it out, I promise. I swear. Fingers crossed. And yeah, that's basically all that's going on in my life right now. And also, I was gonna join debate this year, so that's sad too, because I was going to do debate, and like, I mean, I'm sure they'll still have it, like, they'll still have a debate, like, club probably, but I don't really, like, it's not gonna be the same, I don't think, unless they do, like, online debate competitions, which is also entirely possible, so I'll probably still join it, I don't know. I have a lot of time right now, but not really that much of it. I feel like I have so much time, like, when the day starts out, I have so much time, but then slowly it just all leaks away, and then I'm like, wow, I really spent, like, 20 minutes sitting here trying to figure out how to landscape this thing. Sorry, I am talking about this house, in fact, because, like I mentioned, landscaping on this house was not my friend in the slightest. But anyways, we're pretty much at the end of this video, so thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can leave a like and comment to let me know. Subscribe and click the bell for notifications if you want to see more videos and get notified every single time that I upload a video. And if you like this build and want to play in it, it will be up in the gallery. My origin ID is in the description, and once we finish up this outdoor space a little bit more, I'm just adding in some lamps and like outdoor lighting stuff. That is basically all for this video, so I will leave you now, and the screenshots will roll momentarily. Bye!